Please be seated. My name is Dr. Michael Kelly, and I'm an assistant professor of rhetoric and the president of the Faculty Senate. I could not be more pleased nor more proud to be with you today. On behalf of the faculty, staff, students, board of trustees, academic delegates, and colleagues, alumni, friends, neighbors, and the greater community, welcome to Champlain College, and welcome to the inauguration of our 8th president, Donald J. Lockman. On behalf of the faculty of Champlain College, I have the honor this afternoon to welcome everyone and present President Lockman with a gift. A piece of art called Capitoline Ariadne, created by our very own Professor Tony Lee Sangastiano. In Greek mythology, Ariadne heroically provided the Athenian hero Theseus with a ball of thread that allowed him to escape the labyrinth and slay the mighty Minotaur. For that, she's often associated with mazes and puzzle solving. In the context of American higher education, college presidents are often associated with similar mazes and puzzles. While it is certain that figuring out what to do about the myriad challenges facing contemporary higher education, it will require more than just some yarn. But Ariadne's face depicted in this piece of art represents a reminder. It's a reminder of how the need for ingenuity and problem solving has remained a constant for the better part of 2,000 years. On behalf of the faculty, we look forward to working with you, Don, to meet these challenges and negotiate these mazes. But this piece of art is more than just a face of a character of a Greek myth. Looking more deeply into the drawing, you'll see a series of shapes and images resting inside Ariadne's hair. If you look closely, you'll see a rat's tail, a lobster claw, and other images. Now, a cynical interpretation of the message here might be, good luck dealing with the faculty, they're a bunch of zoo animals. Read more generously, though, what this aspect of the piece can represent are the hidden talents and layers of complexity that make Champlain a vibrant, quirky, and ambitious place. If we take the time to look carefully, we can see beyond what's on the surface and embrace the subtle richness that's strikingly visible if we just know how to look. The last symbolically important aspect of this gift is the process that Professor Sangastiano used to create Capitoline Ariadne. While studying in Italy last year, Tony Lee made the piece while relearning how to draw and returning to the foundation of what it meant to be a student. This reflexive relationship between teaching and learning, this perpetual sense of wonder, they're both hallmarks of what it means to do the work of higher education well, and we look forward to doing it alongside President Lockman. On behalf of the faculty of Champlain College, I congratulate President Lockman on his inauguration as Champlain's president. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce you to Mary Powell, CEO of Green Mountain Power and our chair of the Board of Trustees.
Thanks, Mike. I had the privilege of working with Mike Kelly on the search for Don Lockman, and every time you speak and introduce yourself, I'm still jealous of your title. Associate Professor of Rhetoric, is that it? Rhetoric. I want to be CEO of Rhetoric. That's what I feel like some days. So, anyway, it's wonderful to be here with all of you. I couldn't be more excited on this really important day in the history of Champlain College. As many of you know, this institution was founded back in 1878, actually as Burlington Collegiate College, and then became Champlain College in 1958. And this is now our 8th inauguration of a president. And it couldn't be, in my mind, a more ideal time for somebody with the unique capabilities and inspiration that Don Lockman is going to bring to this institution. I also want to really say how valuable it is from my perspective to not just have Don's wonderful wife, Allison, with us today, but his daughter, Emily. It's really wonderful to have you here. His parents have traveled here, and so have Allison's parents. So please, a round of applause for the extended family. Vermont really is about friends and family. And one of the things I most value about this institution, and the reason that I think Don is going to be such an amazing next president of the institution, is because it really is one about friends and family. It has a very intimate approach to education, something that I think is sorely lacking in many parts of our institutions and our society today. But it also is a radically pragmatic, innovative, fast-moving, growing institution. And in Don Lockman, I believe, and the Board of Trustees believe, we have found the person to lead us through the next decade or so of change. So we're really looking forward to your leadership. So in closing, I get to also be the one to introduce Governor Peter Champlain. And I was thinking about this. I was thinking about introducing you, as I so rarely get a chance to do, and was thinking about the fact that your speaking here today is such a great fit from my perspective, because Champlain really is about a scrappy, pragmatic, innovative, fast-moving, growing institution. In fact, this is what an ideal college looks like, according to the Atlantic magazine. And I think that is also a great definition of Vermont, and that is a great definition of the leader that we have of Vermont at this time. So with great pleasure, I introduce Governor Peter Champlain.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mary Powell. Thank you, and to the entire Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, students, the folks that hold this extraordinary institution together. I am so honored to be here for the inauguration of your 8th president of Champlain College. And I got to say, for those of us that have to reapply for our job every 2 years, the notion that this is only the 8th inauguration of Champlain College is very, very attractive to me. I started first hearing about Don and Allison and the Lockman team shortly after the search started really honing in on the president that we get to inaugurate today. And I had a number of folks who were not only friends who were involved with the search, but also I kept hearing from the chair of your board, we've got a great one. We've got a really perfect candidate to lead this extraordinary institution. So I'm here today to add my words of confidence and congratulations to Don, to Allison, to Emily, to the entire family, but mostly to your 8th president, President Lockman. And I can't tell you how important this moment is, not only to Champlain College, but to the state of Vermont. And I want to tell you why. As a governor who is lucky enough to preside over one of the lowest unemployment rates in America, when I talk to employers of the innovative companies that we have in Vermont, many of whom, by the way, are graduates of Champlain, and to mention a few, Marguerite Dibble, recent graduate, started her own game company, Game Theory. We all know Burlington Bites, Carb Solutions, The Main Idea, Hermetic Trading, innovative graduates who say, I'm going to make this happen. And I just was, this time of year, I'm in a job interview. I spent a lot of time on the road, and I regret that I can't stay for this entire ceremony, but they're putting me back out there. But I literally just stopped at a celebration of Tibetans in Vermont. And in talking to the folks that were there running small businesses, a beautiful gathering, I ran into 2 Champlain graduates who were entrepreneurs who were there doing import business from Tibet. One of them came here as a refugee and is now running a vibrant business. So, I just saw it a second ago. When I travel around talking to business people across Vermont, I'll remember one so distinctly, a tech company that had making apps for iPhones that said to me, We now have 14 employees, and all we do when we hire is go up to Champlain and beg to get one of their graduates. So they have 5 of their 11 employees. But with a low unemployment rate, we also have fewer young people than we need to do the work that we have. And as I talk to employers across the state, they say to me, Gov, we need more trained workers in the fields that we need them, particularly STEM, but entrepreneurship, technology, math, science, business, to get the work done that we've got. And that is the partnership that is so critical to all Vermonters. That is what Champlain is all about. Taking really bright, eager students and getting them into the workforce in really productive ways that are going to change and improve the world. That's the mission of this college. That's the goals of Vermont, and that's why this is so critically important. One thing I just want to mention when I talked to President Lockman early on about his vision for Champlain was this particular aspect about his leadership qualities. I've often said, as a dyslexic governor, someone who had a tough time learning how to read, for whom school was never easy, that one of the benefits of learning differently is that it helps you when you're leading an organization, whether it's the state of Vermont or whatever you're doing, because you constantly, from a very young age, in order to compensate, have to think about how you're going to get to the end of the tunnel when traditional learners, I don't want to get you upset, but I call them lazy learners, only have to think about the tunnel as they travel through it. In other words, you're constantly thinking, where are we going to be at the end of this process? And what struck me about this particular president is his vision for where we are going to be at the end of his tenure. He's focused on ensuring that this is the jobs incubator for the state and for future generations of young people across America, including Vermonters. The first thing he said to me is, my vision is to take what we've done, make it stronger, make it more innovative, make it better, so that in the future, in the state that has the best quality of life in America, the best place to work, to live, and to raise a family, we also have the trained workforce to match the work with the skills that we're going to need, not just tomorrow, but 10 years from now, and 20 years from now, and 50 years from now. That's leadership. That's why I have such tremendous confidence in President Lockman and what he's going to do for an extraordinary organization by making it even stronger. So I'm here simply to say this. We're glad we got you. It's the best import from Illinois we've made yet. And we are in this one together. I will partner with you. We will partner with you. Champlain is critical to Vermont's future, and I'm so honored to be here to welcome, to congratulate President Lockman on this inauguration. And I can tell you, we got a great package in having Allison with us too. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. My name is Dylan Cullen. I'm a sophomore environmental policy student and the president of the Student Government Association. And I asked myself about the present, how wide it was, how deep it was, how much was mine to keep. Kurt Vonnegut. Our lives are encouraged to be fast-paced, to be future-focused, and reminiscent of the past all in a single breath. We live in an age of multitasking, checklists, and the constant ping and swish of emails coming and going. I'm sure we all know that. Our days are effaced away unless we remember to pause and appreciate each moment, big or small. There are a few times built into our lives that are peaceful and quiet and reflective. So let this be one of those moments for you as we slow the world around us so we can honor and embrace the advent of Champlain College's new president, Donald Lockman. Today is one of the days that Don will surely remember, but it should also be a day that the Champlain College community will never forget. I have every confidence that as an institution, we are moving forward in an extremely positive direction. Many people today, I'm sure, will celebrate the many things that Don has already done as president. As I stand here, I would like to honor who Don is as a person and not a title. To learn, one must be humble, but life is the great teacher. James Joyce. In my interactions with Don so far, I have met with a man who is kind and open. He is someone who has a thirst for learning and feedback. He is willing to be himself and to challenge the why. When they give you lined paper, write the other way. Ray Bradbury. I have sat across the table from Don and have been awestruck at his dedication to the goals of the college and to its students. Myself and other members of the Student Government Association agree that Don's commitment to being available for, welcoming to, and compassionate towards the students of Champlain is one of the best qualities that a president can have. And to boot, he's got a killer sense of humor. Now that I've painted you an image of the Don I have come to know, it is my pleasure to present Don with a couple of additional perks, that is to say, in addition to the privilege of working with the student government. For those of you that follow Don's blogging on Don's Desk, you know that he wrote about his favorite books in a post titled, A Remembrance of Books Past. Don talked about being fractured between his wish to read more and his desire to read more deeply. Well, Don, I'm here to tell you that you can have the best of both worlds. Our gift to you is a compilation of books, some that you may have read and others that will be new to you. I was sitting down with members of my cabinet and we were rattling off books that have been impressionable for us in our lives, and we hope they will be so for you as well. Each of the books we will be presenting to you was incorporated into this speech. I pulled from their wisdom, and as you read these, I hope that you will enjoy them, but will also find them useful. I hope you love the black humor classic, Slaughterhouse-Five, by Kurt Vonnegut. It has been my favorite book for a number of years now, and it was a gateway to my love of Vonnegut's truly captivating style. Also in the mix is Ulysses, which you mentioned in your blog post as a book that an inspiring teacher once read each summer on the beach. I hope someday soon you will get to do the same. You also made reference to Frodo and Sam from Lord of the Rings, and we hope that a copy of that adventurous tale will give you the perseverance to push through any difficult times that may come your way. Lastly, we hope that Fahrenheit 451 will be an inspiration to dare when it is not easy, because that is what we do here at Champlain. We take risks and we go places no one has gone before. With you at the helm, there is no doubt in my mind that extraordinary things are going to happen. But if you ever grow tired of leading us from your standing desk, we hope you'll pause to rest on the first ever Champlain College stool engraved with the Champlain seal. I have a few pictures here, which is a little bit less bulky than having you carry away the actual stool at the moment. The stool was handmade and hand engraved so that it's just the right height and is extra comfortable. Someone else always has to carry on the story. J.R.R. Tolkien. Don, as you take your rightful place as the 8th president of Champlain College, you carry on our story. As you are inaugurated today, let us pause to appreciate who we are as a community and how strong we are, united under a leader as fearless as Don. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Thank you and congratulations.
Great job. Awesome
you.
job. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Ms. Marguerite Dibble, class of 2012, to share the alumni presentation.
Hello. Thanks, everyone. This is such a perfect Vermont Saturday outside. So nice. So when I first made the decision to come to Champlain, I came to the campus and I'd been very enthused about all of the things I'd heard and all of the energy that I had seen before coming. And I came for my visit, and it was a day very much like this. I think it was actually right around this time of year. And we were walking around, and I was very impressed. But we went into the cafeteria, and our tour guide said, well, it's a little bit chaotic in here right now because we're just cleaning up our Star Trek dinner. And I thought, okay, this is definitely the school that I'm going to. Which is so ironic because just now when we were standing out in the hall, Mary was talking about how Dawn looked like something out of Star Wars in this outfit. And, you know, I think that it seems maybe a bit strange to compare Champlain as such an excellent school to something like Star Trek, but I think that it's actually relevant. I think that, you know, as educators, as an education institution, we're so often pursuing these strange, shrouded goals with such strong intentions for promoting humanity and always reaching further than ourselves. And so I think that it's actually a pretty good fit, and I'm really glad that I made the choice that I did all those years ago. So when Linda asked me to come and present something for Dawn, I thought about what I wanted to produce, and I wanted to create something that has reflected what has really made Champlain so special for me, and that's its agility, its ability to constantly be on top of the industries that it is sending its students towards. And unfortunately, we can't show it to you here today, but it's something that everyone will be able to access when you get home if you wish. What I decided to build was a website which presents a constant, up-to-date living picture of alumni's reactions to their Champlain experience and what they think Champlain should mean in the future. So the way we put it out there is we sent an email to all alumni, sending them to a website where we asked them to enter 6 words, 3 to describe what their Champlain experience meant to them, and 3 to describe what they think Champlain should mean into the future. All of these words are collected through a database and produced into a living word cloud, which represents the amount that the words were entered and every single thing that was entered. And this will be, I hope, a great reference for you, Dawn, into the future of what the feelings are from the alumni community. If you hit a button on your keyboard, you can also generate a word train that pulls 3 random words out of the database. And we've found this to be a really great way to brainstorm solutions in our office. You can just constantly riff off of these simple word inputs. And I think it's a great way to think about what experiences mean and think about what Champlain can mean in the future. So since we can't show it today, I pulled a couple words from it that I'd love to share with you. So again, these are alumni reflections on what the Champlain experience was for them. The number 1 entry was fun. It was huge. It takes up like half the screen, which I think is pretty great. Other top entries: memorable, rewarding, engaging, motivating, unique, exciting, life-changing, soul-inspiring, self-creation, innovation, transformative. We then asked what people think Champlain should mean in the future, and there was a significant amount of crossover, which I think is something really to be proud of, but there were some unique aspects as well. Some of those words are innovative, fulfilling, inclusive, transformational, sustainable, offered doctoral, which I thought was a nice compliment to how well we do, entrepreneurial, flexible, affordable, and experimental. So just a little bit of food for thought. So, in conclusion, it's just so wonderful to welcome you here, Dawn and Allison, and I'm really excited to forge ahead into these final frontiers with you together.
That's wonderful. That is such a great job.
Thanks, yeah.
Thank you.
And Allison Lackman.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have the great honor today of introducing my husband, Don Lockman. Let me start by sharing a few of Don's professional highlights. Don served as a managing director at Accenture, a global technology, consulting, and outsourcing firm. Over his 23-year career, he developed, implemented strategic change and information technology solutions for his clients. Deciding the time had come to focus on efforts more closely aligned with his core values of giving back to society and working to change the world, Don decided to leave Accenture. He earned his master's in public policy and then joined Civic Consulting Alliance, where he managed the firm's pro bono workforce development and education consulting practice. Don was then appointed president of Harold Washington College, one of the city colleges of Chicago. During his 3 years at HWC, Don led the college and its 9,000 students to an increase of 150% in the graduation rate, and a 70% increase in the number of graduates. He also managed an aggressive effort to partner with the college with insurance, banking, and accounting firms under Mayor Emanuel's College to Careers initiative. But as compelling as Don's professional successes are, they reflect just part of Don's story. I had the good fortune of working for a very special woman not long ago who was often asked to introduce her husband at major events. In doing so, she focused on telling his personal story. She demonstrated over and over again that if you really want to know someone, you have to know their personal as well as their professional side. Following her example, I now want to share a bit about Don's personal story. But in preparing for today, I realized that Don is many things to many people. So rather than just sharing my perspective, I asked friends, family, and former colleagues, many of whom are here today, and many of whom are watching at home on live stream, to help me introduce Don by sharing a word or two about what makes him special to them. Though I asked everyone to focus on Don's personal strengths and characteristics, it quickly became apparent that there is no divide. Don brings the same core values to his professional and his personal life. So that is the first attribute that we want to share with those of you who don't yet know Don. He is a man of consistency. Don is inspiring. This is an adjective I heard over and over again from friends, family, and colleagues alike. Many of the staff at Harold Washington College said they would not have come to the college but for Don being there. They even had a name for it, the Lockman factor. Don's commitment, focus, drive, and leadership inspired them to do more and to be better at what they do. Don also inspires others through his actions, encouraging them to follow what they believe in and to choose a path that makes them happy. Don is a leader. Some describe him as a natural leader. Others call him the quintessential mission-driven leader. Don's leadership style can be summarized by 3 theorems, with credit to Stephen Covey for 2 of them. First, seek to understand. Second, as the governor mentioned, always keep the end in mind. And third, 90% of the world's problems are caused by role confusion. I'm pretty sure he made that one up, but it's very accurate. Innovation and creativity evolve under Don's leadership due to his ability to create and foster a collaborative and idea-sharing community. Don leads by example. There is nothing he will ask anyone to do that he is not willing to do himself. He will not hesitate to roll up his sleeves and dive into the work. One of his former staffers said, "Great leaders are hard to come by, but you will know a great leader when you work side by side with Don." Don is a mentor, both in the strictest sense of the word and by example. Don pushes people to grow individually and coaches them through any roadblocks. This isn't limited to work colleagues. A family member commented that Don had been so important to her development, providing support and advice that has been the cornerstone to her life. Don is thoughtful, reflective, and thorough. He has an incredible memory and an even better mind for details. Don always digs down, way down, before he speaks and acts. And he listens. He really listens. He solicits and processes the ideas and opinions he hears from the very talented people that he surrounds himself with to ensure that he fully understands the situation from every angle, as well as the potential implications and outcomes before deciding on the solution. Don is direct. What might appear intimidating at first, Don's directness actually encourages everyone to step up. Don is a wonderful storyteller with an incredible sense of humor. He shares these traits with our children and his sisters. Many hours are spent sitting around the dinner table telling stories that turn everyday situations into unexpectedly great stories that are equally hilarious and poignant and sometimes embarrassing. Don has a strong social conscience. He has great empathy for those who have been left behind through no fault of their own. Don is driven to make a difference. He desires to positively impact the lives of others and is committed to excellence in doing so. Don has a generosity of spirit. Don has a sharp intellect. He is a lifelong learner who is incredibly well-read, and will do even more, thank you, and very well-informed. 2 of our friends here today describe Don as one of the most intelligent individuals they know, but there are a lot of smart people in the world. So they created a word that summed up Don, humiligence. Don is truly special because his intelligence is matched by his humbleness and humility. Don loves hearty debates. He is skillfully able to engage in spirited conversations with those whose opinions differ drastically from his own, without letting it affect relationships. This commitment originally came from a friend who has seen Don engage in sometimes heated political debates with family members without ever letting it impact his respect and love for them. But I know this to be universally true. Whether at work or home, Don values the informative benefits of a good debate. As a result, he encourages those conversations and respects those willing to engage. Don't get me wrong, it's not always easy to be on the opposite side of a debate with Don, since he comes at each topic armed with passion, facts, and logic at the ready. But it's worth it, knowing how much he truly respects and is impacted by hearing and learning about all sides of an issue. Don has incredible endurance. This term was actually provided by a friend of ours who used it to describe Don's biking ability. He has the ability to keep pumping out more and more effort and never seems to tire or slow down. This endurance, however, isn't limited to biking. It applies to everything about which Don is passionate. And Don is passionate about music. One of our good friends commented that they most admire his incredible knowledge and love of music. There is a truly special side to Don's personality that comes alive through music. Don is dedicated to his students. He is committed to making sure they have every opportunity for success. Improving student outcomes, engaging with students, everything Don does is ultimately focused on how it will benefit the students. But this goes beyond policies and actions aimed at making the college a better place for his students to succeed. Don cares about his students personally. At the beginning of each semester at Harold Washington College, Don stood at the door and greeted everyone as they arrived. He attended every school play, every fashion show, every potluck dinner, every student event that he could to show support for their interests. He regularly met with students and made sure that they had access to him or whomever else they needed depending on their issue. Don's students realized and appreciated how much Don cared about them. This summer, I ran into one of his former students who is currently an officer in the college's Student Government Association. Upon learning that I was President Lockman's wife, he launched into a passionate description about how much Don cared about the students, how much he would be missed. He said he hoped the next president would feel the same way, would be an advocate for them and care about them the way that Don did. Don is a great friend. He's always there when you need him, even if it's just to blow off some steam. You can count on him to have your back, even when you don't think you need it. Don is a loving, caring, supportive family man. He is the big brother to 3 sisters, the only son of his parents, Don and Marie, and the son-in-law of my parents, Al and Margie. Don is an incredible father to our 2 wonderful children who are now amazing adults. Our son, Don, who isn't here today, is getting his PhD at UCLA. When he was asked to provide one word that best describes what makes his dad so special, Don said responsibility. He said his dad instilled in him, Donnie, you did this. He said his dad instilled in him a sense of responsibility for one's own actions and for making the world a better place. He also said his dad exemplifies this sense of responsibility every day. Our daughter Emily said her dad helps her to be prepared for interviews, for jobs, even just for conversation with friends, by helping her clear her thoughts and focus. When Emily feels prepared, everything just makes sense. There's no room left to be nervous, only confident. And nothing helps her better to prepare than having a conversation with her dad. Emily knows she's lucky to have had this kind of support her whole life. So lucky, in fact, that she sometimes feels guilty about her good fortune. She feels that she wouldn't be the person she is today without her father's guidance and support. So she is especially pleased that in the recent years, her dad has dedicated his life to helping as many people as possible, just as he has his daughter. Last but not least, Don is a loving and supportive husband. When I disappeared for most of 2008 to 2012 to work for the President and the First Lady, I did so with Don's complete blessing, even though it turned our personal life upside down. He took care of our home life back in Chicago so that I had the freedom to do what we both believed was important. And now it's my turn. I'm so proud to say that I moved to Burlington just this week so that I could join Don in sharing his commitment to Champlain College, as well as our new home state and new city. I loved hearing about what makes Don special through the eyes of so many of his friends, family, and colleagues in preparing for my introduction today. Every description was unique, yet together they painted the picture of the man I know and love so well. I hope that by sharing his personal story, it helped everyone here know Don more clearly, deeply, and personally. Understanding Don and knowing what drives him, one can't help but see why he is so excited, so committed, and ready to lead Champlain College. Members of the Champlain community, the 8th president of Champlain College.
You did great. Thank you so much, Allison. I'm touched, and thanks to our many friends who contributed those kind words. College delegates, colleagues, our presidents emeriti, trustees and trustees emeriti, faculty, staff, students, and other friends of Champlain College, thank you for being here today. I especially want to welcome my family and friends, my wife, who you've just met, her parents, my mom and dad, my sisters, one of whom, Jane, is celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday, Jane. My daughter, my son, who is watching the live stream from Los Angeles, and our many friends who join us here in this celebration of Champlain College. Your presence honors Champlain College's 136-year history. Your presence shows your dedication to the future of higher education and our role in transforming the lives of young people and supporting adults as they strive to remain competitive in today's global economy. And your presence today reinforces our commitment to realizing our 2020 vision for Champlain College to be the finest, small, professionally and globally focused college in the United States. The boldness of this vision has captivated me since I first considered the possibility of leading Champlain College. As we have since our founding, we are committed to ensure our students are ready for careers and life. We work with the business community to understand what skills our students will need for success in the future. We endeavor to be a leader in educating today's students to become skilled practitioners, effective professionals, and engaged global citizens. Champlain's agile and entrepreneurial approach to higher education blends technology leadership, market savvy, innovation, and fiscal responsibility with a commitment to liberal learning, community involvement, and the human touch. This distinctive approach permeates the delivery of relevant, rigorous, student-centered programs in business, arts, applied technology, and public service. We are well on our way to realizing our vision of being the finest, small, professionally and globally focused college in the United States. We have a great brand in Vermont, a growing awareness of our brand in New England, and an opportunity to become nationally recognized for our distinctive approach. Last year, a record number of students applied for admission to Champlain College. And while we have enjoyed successes, we are aware that higher education is increasingly competitive and beset by forces that threaten the existence of some colleges and universities. Standing still means falling behind. Champlain has a history of pushing itself to create new programs, new majors, and new approaches to meet the needs of students. Because of the efforts of faculty, staff, trustees, and former presidents, we are on the brink of greatness, close to being the finest. For the last 10 months, before I officially started at Champlain, I have engaged our community in discussions about the future of Champlain College. These discussions were grounded in what people love about Champlain today and what they hope for our future. I asked people to dream big about the future of the college. We collected feedback through surveys. I interviewed almost 100 people one-on-one. We convened groups to engage in brainstorming sessions and discussions about our possible futures. Through these discussions, I started to envision what the future Champlain College may look like. In one brainstorming session, a team created a concept of using the spyglass. We give one to each graduating senior as a metaphor for looking at Champlain's future. For the next few minutes, I ask you to join me in looking through this spyglass that sees into one possible version of Champlain College's future. And please indulge me if I use the first person in referring To the president, I promise you I only did this to make the exercise easier to envision. The date is Thursday, October 18th, 2024, a short 10 years from today. I take you on a journey through an ideal day in the life of the president of Champlain College. After my morning workout, I sit down to breakfast and notice in the upper right-hand corner of my glasses 2 alerts on articles about Champlain. I double blink, and my glasses project an article from the New York Times that talks about how Vermont has become the top job-creating state in the country for the 2nd year in a row. The governor attributes much of the success to Champlain College's focus on ensuring the state has skilled professionals with a global perspective. The governor is quoted as saying, "Here in Vermont, Champlain College partnered with industry to identify high-growth sectors. Champlain developed and enhanced the programs necessary to meet the demand. While I'll admit we are adjusting to a few 100,000 new jobs in the state, it is a nice problem to have." I then double blink my glasses over to the Chronicle of Higher Education and am pleased to read that Champlain College tops the Chronicle's Best Colleges to Work For list for the 3rd year in a row. Here's what the Chronicle says about Champlain. In 2014, the college recommitted itself to achieving the 5 pillars of its strategic plan: achieving academic excellence, enriching student life, enhancing financial stability, exciting, engaging, and empowering faculty and staff, and fostering an inclusive and diverse community. Champlain's leadership believed that an engaged faculty and staff who brought the mindset of greatness to all of the challenges of higher education would be best able to execute the strategic pillars. Their talent, energy, dedication, and pride led to action. Now, people working at Champlain cannot imagine working anywhere else. The competition for faculty and staff openings is fierce. My glasses flash a calendar alert at me, and I run over to the gym at the IDX building to meet with our New England Association of Schools and Colleges, known as NEASC, accreditation team. Accreditors still visit the institutions in person every 10 years just to be sure the descriptions and appraisals match what they can see for themselves. So even though they loved the virtual Champlain game environment that students, faculty, and staff co-created instead of a self-study report, they seem really pleased that our campus overlooking the lake is just as beautiful as the virtual Champlain they experienced in our game environment. The accreditors visited Champlain a year ago to meet with our provost. They wanted to study Champlain's innovation culture as a model for other leading institutions to replicate. Our provost has fostered a culture of collaboration and innovation among our faculty and deans. She worked with faculty to incorporate emerging knowledge about brain-based learning to ignite their teaching practices, both in brick-and-mortar classrooms and online. Thanks to the intellectual curiosity of our faculty, student learning outcomes and retention are off the charts. The accreditors are here today to learn more and help us plan for our May Collaborative. This year, the Collaborative will include faculty presentations to an international audience convened by NEASC. Educators from around the world want to understand how and why our faculty is so effective in teaching our students. My glasses are blinking an insistent alert that I am late for my appointment at Career Services. I run over to meet with the team. We're having challenges with space, again. So many companies want to make visits to the college, we are struggling to accommodate them. We've installed virtual interview rooms with holographic projection capability, but they are at 95% capacity. The mayor helped us work with our Washington congressional delegation to get the petabyte fiber line installed to handle the holographic traffic. But even that 1 million gigabyte capacity is experiencing bandwidth constraints. Between the constant hologram visits of employers wanting to talk to students and the demands our technology and creative media programs are making with the bandwidth, we may need another petabyte line soon to stay ahead of demand. While at Career Services, I stopped to talk to Maria, a senior in our big data analytics major. She is entertaining offers from top local and national marketing and social media companies. I asked her how she was so successful in getting these job offers. Maria credits the interdisciplinary approach of her Champlain education. Employers are impressed by her professional expertise, but also by her ability to communicate ideas concisely and convincingly. She feels her core class in the rhetoric of virtual spaces with global dimensions grounded her in the realities of being a successful global employee. I smile. Our core faculty developed that course after one of our appreciative inquiry summits in which we engaged leading companies with our faculty to discuss the rhetorical competencies students would need in order to work effectively in our interconnected world. Maria also credits our life skills training, called LEAD, with giving her the confidence to navigate multiple job offers. Employers said her aptitude for personal branding through social media differentiated her from other applicants. And the pragmatic skills she learned in LEAD helped her create a budget so that she understands how much she can afford for an apartment. She proudly tells me that with her new salary, she will also be able to afford to get a dog. She is leaning towards staying here in Burlington because of the dynamic tech scene here. Also, Maria's community service work helped her appreciate the impact she can make in improving the lives of people in this community. As she gets up to leave, Maria stops to tell me that she also appreciated that in spite of the changes to the college in the past 4 years, she is happy we have not lost our human touch. She tells me, I came close to leaving school in my sophomore year after my mom got sick. I reached out for help, and my faculty advisor and a staff counselor personally helped me get back on track to pursue my education. I am so grateful to Champlain for caring about me, and my mom is so proud of me. I thank Maria for sharing her story with me. I am impressed that our four-dimensional approach to education, professional and liberal education, life skills, and global citizenship, has started Maria on a path to a meaningfully better life. And our commitment to the human touch helped her get there. I break for lunch. I am meeting with a donor during the silent phase of our $200 million campaign. I double blink on my glasses to review her bio before we meet. The donor believes our model of education is essential in transforming the lives of students. She is considering a gift of $50 million and would like to ensure the endowment enables high-need students to attend Champlain without loans. But she wants to ensure that alumni will step up to match the gift. We discussed her vision for the gift and how she would like to be involved, and then we discussed strategies to ensure our 66% alumni giving rate will continue to complement her generosity with matching gifts. After lunch, I meet with a CEO of a media company interested in relocating to Burlington. She read the third version of John Tierney's now regular series in the Atlantic magazine, The Ideal College Does It Again. And she wants to ensure Champlain will continue to supply talent to her industry and maintain our commitment to professional and global education. I take her on a history through Champlain's history. Champlain College was founded in 1878 by G.W. Thompson as Burlington Collegiate Institute and Commercial College in downtown Burlington, with a goal to prepare students for, quote, business careers and responsibilities of life, end quote. As the world changed, successive presidents, E. George Evans, A. Gordon Tittlemore, and C. Bader Brulette changed programs and offerings to meet the needs of Vermont businesses. President Brulette changed the college's name to Champlain College and moved the college from Main Street to the Hills Section neighborhood, its current location, in 1955 and 56. He also converted the college from a for-profit to a not-for-profit institution. Under Bob Skiff and a committed board of trustees made up of Burlington business and civic leaders, the school changed from a 2-year to a 4-year school and expanded the campus to meet the increased number of students. The complexity of jobs and the emerging knowledge economy demanded more well-educated students. Roger Perry, with the board's support, introduced online and global education, as well as starting graduate programs, again, to meet the ever-changing needs of business. Under Dave Finney, Champlain expanded to Dublin, Ireland, Montreal, Canada, and Shanghai, China, with partnerships across the globe. The college built an innovative and engaging core education division to complement the professional divisions and introduced centers of excellence, such as the Emergent Media Center and the Leahy Center for Digital Investigations, so that students could gain real-world experience in tandem with their academic experience. Today, in 2024, we now offer majors and graduate degrees in fast-growing fields such as virtual health informatics, big data analytics, and three-dimensional multimedia content creation and management. We continue, as we have since our founding, to offer accounting and business degrees. We educate the teachers, social workers, and criminal justice majors who go to work in Vermont and beyond. We are a net importer of talent, and we are helping to keep Vermont's economy strong. The CEO tells me that she has heard our students are in such high demand, companies can't even reserve time to interview them. I promise to make 50 interview sessions available so that her company can find at least 10 students, as long as she commits to offering 10 internships to each cohort of freshmen, sophomore, and junior students. She readily agrees, knowing that our upside-down curriculum makes even our first-year students productive on day one. After double-blinking my contact details to the CEO, I joined the cabinet in one of our holographic projection rooms. Our Senior Vice President for Finance and Administration reports from our 1,000-student campus in Shanghai, China. He is negotiating the construction of a new dormitory tower. He reports that the neighbors are a little concerned with our plans because the proposed 25-story tower is small by Shanghai standards. Our VP of Continuing Professional Studies joins us. He reports that we have hit our goal of 15,000 students in TruEd, and 5 more companies have signed up for our subscription model this week. While he is too modest to mention it, I tell the team that our VP is once again on the front page of the Wall Street Journal in an article that credits Champlain College's approach to education to contributing $100 billion to our corporate partners' stock market value. The VP of Enrollment reports that last year's undergraduate application topped 30,000 for the first time. We discussed the type of student we want to attract to Champlain, not losing focus on our proud history of serving Vermont high school students with the opportunity to get the skills necessary to enter the workforce. The international recruiting efforts we started in 2014 have borne fruit, with 1/4 of our applicants from overseas. Our reputation has been boosted by a recent employer survey that named Champlain College as the top professional school in the nation. Our faculty are featured in publications around the country as exemplars of a student-focused professional education. Our board secretary reports on the action items coming out of our recent board meeting in Kenya. We've had success in recruiting alumni who are eager to give back. They now make up over 50% of our board, and trustees increasingly reflect the rich diversity of our student body. 1/4 of our trustees now have graduate degrees and certifications from Champlain. Our Vice President of Student Life reports that our graduation rate has again topped 90%, and retention is on track to improve this result in future years. She also proudly reports that over 90% of our graduates from traditional undergraduate studies were hired for jobs in their field of study. Our efforts to support adult students and alumni have accelerated. Our data indicate that 2/3 of adult students are promoted or change jobs with a higher salary within 6 months of program completion. Our alumni network is among one of the most robust around, and alumni report great success in recruiting Champlain graduates to their companies. Our head of human resources reports from Ireland on her efforts to recruit an international director located in Europe to coordinate the 700 student visits each year to Dublin, Montreal, Asia, and our partners in Africa. Since our consortium alliance partners provided us with more language learning opportunities, demand for overseas language immersion has exploded. In turn, employer demand for bi- and multilingual skills has skyrocketed. My glasses remind me that we need to head over to Aiken Hall for our dinner with former board chairs. The cabinet members in Burlington join me in one of our favorite events of the year. I report on the successes of our latest class, the growth in graduate and CPS, and the new partnerships we have struck with companies across the country for internships and jobs for our students and continuing education for their employees. A trustee asks what our results are with the campus we have started in Nairobi, Kenya. I report that while it is still early, the Champlain way seems to resonate deeply with prospective students there, and we have attracted a record number of applicants. Another former board chair asks about our efforts to update our vision, given our realization of being the finest small, professionally and globally focused college in the United States. I talk about our strategic planning efforts and how we have engaged faculty and staff from around the world in conversations about the future of Champlain. To date, everyone agrees that we remain committed to our mission. It has served us well and has been the anchor for faculty, staff, and students to guide our possible futures. The dinner continues with conversations at every table, marveling at how much has changed at Champlain over the past 10 years, and yet how much has remained true to our founding. I walk home energized and excited about what the future holds for the college and for our students. Okay, thank you for letting me take you on a journey into the future of Champlain College. I ask that you now time travel with me back to the present. In my first months at Champlain, I've discovered a desire among our faculty, staff, trustees, and friends to dream big and write our future. We share a tremendous pride in the college and a pride in what we have done and continue to do for our students. Our people are thirsting for the opportunity to invent our future and be empowered to make great things happen here. To build this future, we will build on the nimble culture of today to continue to deliver the most complete education possible. We have created the vision, we have built the foundation, and we have enjoyed successes. We can and will be even greater. We aspire to be a national leader in modeling for higher education Champlain's distinctive approach that ensures our students become fully engaged, competitive, successful professionals in a global workplace. And so I ask each of you to dream with me. My discussions with many of you in this audience helped create the vision I just shared with you. And based on those discussions, I know there is more potential out there. If we are to meet our goal of being the finest school, we need all of you to contribute your own vision of Champlain's future. Pick up your own spyglass. Stare intently. Share what you see in our future. Engage with others. Dream big. Talk about and push for your vision for Champlain College. The more people who invest in our vision, the bigger it can be. Imagine the power and focus of 1,000 spyglasses peering into Champlain's future. I call upon you to join me in this journey. I call upon you to take risks, to contribute ideas, to help us build on our past successes, and to use your own spyglass to envision our future. Because if Champlain College succeeds in realizing our vision, our students will benefit, Vermont will benefit, and the country will benefit. That is a goal worthy of your time, your energy, and your commitment. Join me, and together we will transform lives. Thank you.
Well, it may be raining outside, but the future for Champlain College with President Don Lockman's vision is fantastic and very, very bright. I'm Laura Dagan, very pleased to be here and I'm the former chair of the Board of Trustees, and I'm very pleased to be here having the honor of presenting the mace this afternoon. The origin of the mace tradition, dates back to medieval times when it was first used as a weapon. By the 16th century, the mace, a symbol of authority, was embraced as a ceremonial object by colleges and universities. The Champlain College mace was commissioned by the late Edward P. Lyman Sr., former Vice President for Development here. It is carried by the most recent recipient of the Edward Phelps Lyman Professorship, Dr. Nancy Kerr, who leads the profession at formal academic occasions. The presidential mace is a gift from William G. Post, Jr., former chairperson of the Board of Trustees, who not only designed it, he crafted it. And thank you, Bill. It is carried by the president of the Faculty Senate, Dr. Michael Kelly, who leads the president of the college to the platform, again, for our special occasions. Where's Mike? Okay. President Don Lockman, I'm honored to present you with the college and presidential maces. And now I'm happy to introduce our current chair of the Board of Trustees, Mary Powell. Mary?
Thank you, Laura. Great. Okay, and hello everyone. I get to present the medallion. And the medallion was a gift to Champlain College from the Skiff family. And it's really exciting to get to present it to you today. It was presented at first at the inauguration of Robert Skiff in 1977. So it includes a large brass replica of the college seal on a heavy brass chain. Interspersed on the chain, because I'll bring it up in just a second, you'll get to see this, it's really cool bling. Interspersed on the chain are ovals engraved with the names and dates of the 7 college presidents before you. So President Lockman, as the 8th president of Champlain College, we present you with this medallion, which is to be worn at all official Champlain College ceremonies. So, Don Lockman, AKA 50 Cent. Here we go. You're welcome. And now I turn it over to Peter Stern, who is the Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees.
Good afternoon. In 2009, a statue of Samuel de Champlain, the founder of New France and Champlain College's namesake, was placed between the IDX Student Life Center and Alumni Auditorium. For the past 5 years, students, families, and many others have passed the statue of de Champlain looking through a spy scope towards the lake. At the 136th undergraduate commencement in May of this year, the college presented each graduate with a wooden replica of the spyglass after the student received her or his diploma. It was the second year of this tradition that was funded by the Student Government Association. Inscribed on the spyglass is Champlain's Latin motto, Odiemos, or let us dare. The idea is, as students start their career, the spyglass will be displayed in some important place as a token of their college achievements. The spyglass reflects the continued curiosity and desire for each graduate to look forward to new adventures and make new discoveries. I recognize Donald Lockman as having the authority to carry on this tradition and partner with the Student Government Association to present spyglasses to each Champlain College graduate. With that, I would like to pass on the spyglass.
Okay. All right, and now I would like to introduce Christina Erickson.
Thank you, Mary. On behalf of the Champlain College Staff Council, I want to welcome you, Don and Allison, and your family to the Champlain College family and to Vermont. E. George Evans, Champlain's second president, in his address to the class of 1897 said, "Lose no opportunity for learning something useful, first in your particular line of duty, but also in the line of general education. Never stop learning. You have just begun now." While this comment was made to the student body, I think it also applies to our new president. There is much to learn about Champlain, about Burlington, about Vermont, and all that surrounds us in the Champlain Basin. I would wager for that most people in this room who live in Vermont, they'd say it is the quality of life, the traditions, and the deep love of place that keeps us here. Ava Solberger, who works for the local media outlet 7 Days, has a video blog called Stuck in Vermont, which gives us examples of those of us who are quite content to be stuck here. When we as a staff discussed what we might offer as part of this ceremony, we thought there could be no better thing than to give you the gift of exploration. With the new ease of collaborating on documents through our new systems here, we as a staff put together a Burlington bucket list for you, Don, and your family. And this being Vermont, with our love of all things maple, we are delivering this as a Burlington sap bucket list. This list demonstrates the Champlain College's staff love of place, of the culture of our place, and of the profound caring and connection to our community. As you work your way through this list, we think that you just may get stuck in Vermont too. Welcome and congratulations. You're welcome. I am pleased to invite Mary Powell back to the podium.
Thank you. You're welcome. Wow, what a wonderful event. Thank you, President Lockman, for such an inspiring inaugural address. I, like many of you, probably sat there looking through my own glass and trying to picture where I would be. I kind of choose the board meeting in Kenya, by the way. That's where I'd like to be, so I don't know how that'll work, but make that work out in your dream. But it really just was such an inspiring vision and really exemplifies why I, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, are so pleased and excited to have you join us and have you now lead this incredible institution. So I want to thank all of you. I want to thank the Lockman family in particular for being such an important part of this event with us today. I want to thank all the incredible friends and family and community of Champlain College and Vermont. Bless you, thank you, and we will now close the inaugural ceremony. So with that, we'll go forward.